Welcome to Concussion Talk Podcast. I'm Nick Mercer. This is episode 54. I'll be talking to Concussion Legacy Foundation's Western University chapter about concussion support and brain injury support at Western University. But first, I'd like to thank my sponsor, HeadCheck Health. HeadCheck Health bridges the gaps in concussion care through simple, powerful technology. Join organizations like the Canadian Football League, Trek Factory Racing, the Canadian Junior Hockey League, Eastern Washington University, and Volleyball Canada, who rely on HeadCheck to improve communication and optimize care. Visit headcheckhealth.com for more. Before my conversation with Concussion Legacy Foundation Western University chapter, I'd like to first encourage everyone to visit my website at www.concussiontalk.com and to visit my social media pages at Concussion Talk. That's the handle for my Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. And please visit my Facebook page where I've created a new Concussion Talk group, just call it Concussion Talk Group, on Facebook, where you can just go and chat with others who have had concussion or other people who have insight into concussion and talk about symptoms or issues you're dealing with. I encourage everyone to go and just share and speak supportively to each other. Thank you, and now my two guests. Okay, I'm talking to now Kristen and Abby, co-presidents of the Concussion Legacy Foundation's Western chapter. And Kristen, Abby, can you either both of you introduce yourselves? And what you do for the Concussion Legacy Foundation Western chapter. That's a long name, it's cumbersome, but yeah, go for it. So, Kristen, you guys can go first.
So my name's Kristen Nugent. I'm currently a graduate student here at Western University. I also did my undergrad here in kinesiology. I started volunteering with the Concussion Legacy Foundation Canada as just a general volunteer to help raise awareness in Canada in our community in London. And then I progressed and took on some leadership roles and ended up being president as of 2018. And I have stayed in this role for the Western chapter since 2018. So it's been a awesome experience, and I really like continuing to grow our club as well as reach out to our community.
Great.
So my name's Abby Dazuba, and I am also
Abby what? Sorry, in the last
Abby Dazuba.
Dazuba? Okay.
It's a difficult last name.
No.
But I am in sports management at Western University, and I'm in my fourth year, and kinesiology is kind of my main hub. But I joined the Concussion Legacy Foundation in my first year at Western. I got involved in high school by talking through Jeff Brooks, who was the coordinator here at Western at the time, because of the concussions that I've had. So kind of the same as Kristen, I took on a couple of leadership roles throughout my years in second and third year. And then gratefully, Kristen also gave me the opportunity this year to join her to be co-president of the Western chapter. So
great. Well, thank you. See, I interviewed Jeff Brooks in my, I got to find out what episode number it was, but early on, I interviewed Jeff Brooks as he was doing the stuff with football mostly, and he was just starting his master's then. So that would have been 4 or 5 years ago now. So
yeah, he's currently in his, I think, last year of his PhD, but he was the original starter of Concussion Legacy Foundation Western, and he passed it on to me, and that's how the timeline.
So can you guys just Kristen or Abby, whoever wants to, just what is your group? Like what do you guys do? And where do people find you at Western?
To find us, we are an organization. So a nonprofit organization that's actually international. It moved into Canada in 2014, and then each chapter each university opened up their own chapter organization to really feed the information to the community. What we really do is we take on educational components and presentations and workshops and give that to athletes or students in our area. And then we also have some great fundraiser events and some really cool pop-up events as well throughout the year.
Mhm.
Cool. So you guys talk to just only Western students, or anybody? I guess anybody in the community who wants to know.
Yeah,
So,
so we talk to not only Western students, but a lot of youth within our community. So we'll reach out to different leagues, like hockey leagues. We've done it with swimming teams. We've also done it with elementary and high schools within London, Ontario. So we pretty much just reached out to anyone within our area to give them that concussion awareness. And we kind of more focus on brand awareness on campus to get students involved in something that they're passionate about. So.
okay. So you guys see mostly just see students from varsity teams or club teams, or who, or do you see students from mostly just from non-athletic injuries, non-athletic concussions?
Yeah, we kind of do a little bit of everything. So we've done stuff with varsity athletes, especially one of our campaigns earlier this year where we did a Team Up, Speak Up videos. Varsity athletes had to take a pledge of them saying the Team Up, Speak Up speech, and then we post that all on our social media.
And what is that? What is Team Up Speak Up?
So Team Up Speak Up is actually a day across Canada. It's based on the Rowans Law Day. It kind of culminates on that day. Just to give you a background, Rowan Stringer, she was a rugby player in Ottawa that actually lost her life due to post-concussion syndrome. She got a secondary concussion on top of a first concussion, and she actually died due to that athletic injury. So Ontario actually founded the day Rowans Law Day, and the law actually forbids young athletes who are involved in sports to continue playing once they feel some symptoms, some concussion symptoms. So because we are a organization within Ontario, we did acknowledge that day. And then we created this event among it, and we call it Team Up Speak Up, meaning you're going to look out for your other teammates and ask them to speak up if they have any concussion symptoms, because you don't want a really terrible event to happen. And the whole idea was just getting everyone to team up together instead of thinking about concussion symptoms by yourself. You want your friends, and you want to work with your friends and your teammates on your sport team. So the whole idea was recording a video of your team or some players on your team saying, we pledge to look out for each other and to identify any concussion symptoms among our friends, and that's how we're going to end concussions. And they just have to record that video and tag us, and then they're entered into our social media contest.
Oh, okay, cool. So you only did it with just varsity teams, or did you with the club teams as well?
Varsity and intramural teams at Western.
Okay. And
Yeah, we kept within Western community this year.
Okay, so no high schools, or I lost you for there for a second. Your voice cut out for a second there, but
So we kept it within our Western community this year, but maybe next year we'll expand to the London community.
okay. And so so we're gonna be able to find you, let's say, online or your homepage or your social media. Where's the best place to be able to find you guys?
Probably on our Instagram and on our Facebook. So our Instagram is CLFC Western. So that's just tailored to our Western chapter. But then Concussion Legacy Foundation Canada is more of our broad base on Facebook.
Okay, and you guys have do you guys have a homepage, or just mostly social media, or to get your link to Western? So,
Yeah, the Instagram page is very specific to everything that we do. But we will always send our content to the Canada-wide page on Facebook, and then you can see everything that each chapter is doing.
So do you guys have support groups at Western for concussions, or do you guys run support groups, or do you guys run information just around, just contact Kristen and help you for information about concussions, and is that how you do it?
Yeah, so pretty much right now it's just information based. We have talked in the past about maybe implementing support groups with our wellness center. That is definitely something that would be very beneficial to the Western community, and I think a lot of students and athletes and whoever needs that resource. So that is definitely something that we would think about and step into the future. But right now, we pretty much just do information based and awareness.
We do.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
We do have a campaign that we're starting. It hasn't fully taken off yet, but it's called Humans of Concussions, if you want to speak to that, Abby.
Yeah, so it's pretty similar to Humans of New York, which is a very famous page on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
So we're thinking about doing a video montage. But the issue with that is that lots of people who have suffered concussions aren't really ready to speak out yet on their experiences. So we've just been doing anonymous posts, candid shots of the people and just them telling us a blurb of their story or their experiences. And then we match a quote with what they've said and we post it on our Instagram. And it's been doing fairly well. So I think that that's definitely a better way to attack the whole project.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys find that you get most of your concussion questions or concerns from like non-athletes, from just usually hitting their head against a wall or like a back of a door or something like that, or do you get from athletes mostly, you think?
I think that we are really well known within the athletic community here at Western. So we do see a lot of varsity athletes reach out. Sorry?
That makes sense because yeah.
So we see that quite often, and we always have those resources to the wellness center that we can refer those athletes to, because we are not certified in any sort of like psychological counseling, and we don't want to give them any misinformation, but we're always here if they want to talk, because a lot of the people who have been on our committee or our executive board have had concussions and gone through similar experiences. And I think that knowing somebody out there who's an advocate for this injury and this brain injury is good to know that somebody's around to talk to.
So I'll start with Kristen, I guess. What drew you to Concussion Legacy Foundation? Why did you want to volunteer and then be co-president?
Yeah, so I was a really competitive soccer player when I was younger. I was about 14, and unfortunately, this kind of took a side story, but I tore my ACL, so I wasn't able to compete for an entire year. But I still attended practices and games to support my teammates, and I was still really close with all my teammates. My team actually got an opportunity to go over to Jamaica to play the Jamaican team. So I didn't go, obviously, I couldn't play. But they went. Sorry?
How'd they do? How'd you guys do?
Won.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But on their return, I found out that one of the players, my good friends on the team, took a header, got a severe concussion, and then lost all of her memory. So when she returned from the soccer trip, she actually didn't know who I was because I wasn't on the trip with her. Wow. And that was probably the biggest impact I've seen from concussions, probably because I was so directly impacted by it. Because I had to reintroduce myself to her, and she had to relearn that we were pretty close friends prior to this injury. And that
also, she lost totally into amnesia.
Yeah. So that was really tough, and that experience resonated with me, and I carried that throughout my kinesiology career. But then when I saw the opportunity that there's this awareness and education program or organization, I wanted to get involved.
And you're doing your graduate studies in kinesiology now?
Yeah, I'm doing my
master's. In the area?
Yeah. No, I'm not doing it in concussions. I'm doing it in amputation and rehabilitation. Okay. So a bit different, but I still like doing these types of leadership roles for this cause.
Right. And Abby, what drew you to Concussion Legacy Foundation?
So pretty much from where I started was in high school. I got a lot of concussions, and to date I've had 13. Whoa. So it's been a tough battle, but in my grade 12 year, my doctor pretty much told me to reach out to the Concussion Legacy Foundation at Western, because he knew that I wanted to go to Western University for my undergraduate degree, so I did. And then I kind of got involved that way. So pretty much just my whole experiences and like how much I've improved from even 5 years ago or even last year is such a big significance. And I think just like having my experiences and being able to empathize with people, and just I feel like because it's had such a strong role in my life is just something I'm very passionate about now. And yeah, so pretty much the same thing as Kristen, we pretty much just lead this group into really helping students and athletes at Western and give them someone that they can talk to and understand where they're coming from.
So were you a soccer player?
No, I actually played hockey and lacrosse and basketball. Those are like my go-to. Hockey was my number one, but clearly
do you play them for fun now, or intramural, or even varsity?
Unfortunately, I can't play sports anymore.
No.
Like any contact sports, which kind of sucks. But I still get involved with sports in other ways, especially in my degree. Like it's something I'm always going to be passionate about. It'll be something that I always miss. But I've just been given such a great opportunity with everything that athletics have given me. So. And
Kristen, do you play soccer at all anymore?
So after the first ACL surgery, I actually got two more.
Oh, really?
So I've taken a back seat to those field sports.
Yeah.
But I'm still very involved in cycling. Road cycling and stationary cycling. I'm a cycle instructor. So nice. Even though I can't do one sport, I still encourage other people to find something that works with their abilities or their needs to stay active and engaged in their community or social settings.
So how big is this? Is your chapter in Western? How big is the executive board?
So the executive board actually has, I believe, seven of us. And then we have 20 trained presenters, which are kinesiology or medical science students who want to go out in the community and be giving the education presentations to schools. And then we have about 50 people that are not trained in the presentation, but actively participate in the events that we put on, such as the Team Up, Speak Up pledge or the Dodgeball Tournament. So we're pretty well known within the community here at Western.
Yeah. Do you guys have this? You said like your chapters are out. I guess on I know that I don't think there's a chapter. I know there's a concussion support group at the university in St. John's or Memorial University of Newfoundland, but I don't think it's a Concussion Legacy. I think to me this Concussion Legacy is just Ontario, or is it?
I think so. There's us, the Western, Laurier,
Mac,
Laurentian, Mac, UFT, and McGill.
Okay.
McGill is in Quebec, so.
Yeah, but close. Yeah, I went to Queens and I interviewed the Queens concussion group, and they were doing something with they're doing a past weekend. I think they did a conference or whatever it's called, symposium conference with Concussion Legacy Foundation, help them do that, but they're not a chapter. I don't think.
No,
I don't want to speak at the turn here or anything, but so where can people find you on campus, like physically, or are you just online and wherever you pop up? Or is there a physical spot they can reach you? Not you specifically. I'm not trying to get your names out there necessarily, but I mean you're where they can find Concussion Legacy Foundation Western chapter. You got to think about shortening that.
So we don't really have like an office per se.
Okay.
Lot that people can come to, but we do put on a bunch of meetings and like information booths that we do have throughout the year. So that's kind of how we get that presence. And then once we attract those volunteers or people who are interested in our club, that's when they'll come out to our meetings and we'll have discussions based on that perspective. But we don't have a physical presence, unfortunately.
Okay.
But a lot of it has to do around our social media for sure.
Okay, and well, I guess the big thing for us about events and everything like that. But what is the stated mission of you guys, and what do you guys want? What would you guys want to know? If someone said, "What is CLFC Western?" That's shorter. That's better. Let's try that now. CLFC Western. What are you guys? What do you stand for?
I think that we stand for the whole idea of not stopping sports, but teaming up, hoping to look out for each other a bit more. I think that that is a big component of our presentations, watching out for your teammates and being their biggest advocate because you know them. They're your teammates at the end of the day. Like, you look out for them and you'd pass the ball to them, but you'd also look out and make sure they don't have concussion symptoms.
Right.
And I think a big thing too is there used to be such a large stigma around, especially even men's sports,
Yeah.
not speaking up and kind of just playing through it, and even through any sport. And I think that that's definitely changed throughout the years, but I believe that there's still an issue with that. So I think pretty much, as Kristen already mentioned, just standing up for your teammates and ending that stigma around it, and just kind of giving that support to yourself and to others as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. So at event, you said you have pop-up events and just events. Do you have any major events coming up that people can find you or your trained speakers?
Yeah. So we actually have our annual Dodgeball Tournament. It's been going on for 4 years now.
Wow.
So Western has this thing called a purple shirt, and it's literally a purple shirt, but
Yeah.
it says on the front, this is a purple shirt, and it's only awarded to any sort of intramural team that wins their division at the end of the year. So
Okay.
we have some pretty cool connections. So we get a batch of these shirts, and the winner of the Dodgeball Tournament, the team that wins, gets these shirts. And that's a big draw for us university students who are really passionate. And
Purple shirts?
Yeah.
Purple t-shirts? Purple t-shirts, yeah. I see that.
So, yeah, so we host a Dodgeball Tournament. It's like a round robin at the end of March. Our date hasn't been set yet, but we are asking any sort of varsity athletes or even students who just want to participate because they want to win a purple shirt.
Yeah.
So we get a big turnout, probably about 70 people each year, and we're looking forward to that at the end of March.
Yeah. It's super exciting. I don't know what it is, but everyone just loves this high reward.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
the release before exams, too, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's awesome to do that.
Yeah.
Right when things slow down and you're about to go into exam study mode, it's great to have that kind of last team building session.
Yeah. So are you finishing your masters or this year or?
I'm only in my first year, so I have another full year to go. So I think I might continue the presidency a little bit longer. Maybe ask a new member to join because Abby's unfortunately graduating. Well, fortunately graduating this year.
What are your plans for next year, Abby?
Oh boy. So currently, right
Yeah,
now,
I don't want to force you to answer.
No, it's all good. I'm currently applying to a bunch of jobs in Toronto, so I'm hoping to find a job within sport management or sport marketing, something along those lines, and work my way up. So we'll see how things roll, but fingers crossed.
All the best. Yes.
Thank
And so finally, just was there anything else you guys like to add that I haven't touched on? That you think is important?
So if you are listening and you are interested in receiving a concussion awareness or education presentation, it would be awesome to contact us to get that presentation. We can totally figure out what chapter is the closest chapter to your school or sport club, and we will make sure that happens because we're all about making sure this information is transferable and accessible to all ages and groups, and that's our main goal. So send us a message on Instagram and we will try our best to accommodate.
So again, not to make you repeat yourselves, but so people can reach you, can contact you. Best ways is on your social media, like at CLFC Western, but you just say where it is.
Yep, it's at CLFC Western.
All one word.
Yeah. And then on Facebook, we are Concussion Legacy Foundation Canada. And you can be connected with the headquarters, and they'll make sure that you get whichever chapter is closest in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, yeah. Thanks. That's great. So, thanks, Todd. And there was nothing else you guys want to do as part of a lot of stuff there. So, thank you guys so much for being on this podcast, and I hope you get the word out and people hope people contact you about concussion awareness, about getting their school organized in their teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for giving us this platform. It's awesome to speak out and continue to raise awareness about this cause. We really appreciate it.
Well, great. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Thank you for listening, everyone. And please remember to visit the Concussion Legacy Foundation Western Chapter online. We'll go to @CLFC on Instagram and on Twitter and find them online. And please visit concussiontalk.com or @concussiontalk on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and join the group. So thank you, and I hope you listen again soon. As always, music at the beginning of this episode is by Ben Sound, www.bensound.com.